Hey guys, it's your boy Eddie here. I just wanted to give you my first impressions on POE2 and like a little bit of a leveling guide between Act 1 through 3 because I felt like the first couple acts is kind of really difficult to get used to the game. I'll give you some of my tips and tricks and some of my settings that I've been doing and just a little bit about the build that I've been playing. I've been playing a nade shots type of Deadeye. I chose Deadeye because I'm the most comfortable with it for a league start in PoE1. So I thought it would be pretty easy to just transfer over. And I realized that movement speed is insane in this game because there is no uh like movement skills. There's no dash, there's no blink. There's like a leaf slam and a shield charge, but it's kind of clunky. So yeah, I mean, it worked out for me because I got Tailwind as the first node, and yeah, I think it was pretty insane, and it's been helping me a lot, especially dodging things and running around mobs. Especially some mobs love to put you in a corner and then you can't dodge roll out of it. So it's actually pretty good to have some sort of tailwind. I hope they introduce some type of phasing in the future. I think phasing would be great to have. But yeah, with further ado, I'll talk a little bit about how I started, some tips and tricks, and how to progress through Act 1 through 3. So first off, when you first get the when you first start to load the game, you don't really get that many good skill gems. So a good combo to start out with. Oh, I have the wrong sleeve on here. Let me switch that. A good combo to start out with, to be honest, is when you first get permafrost and fragmentation rounds. You would probably put these two on your bar, and you would probably just mix and match. I'm also starting and loving to use the WSAD input. I think it's really good, especially with the slow, methodical gameplay of POE2. I think WSAD is pretty comfortable. It limits a little bit of your keybind abilities, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, so the combo from Act 1 through maybe maybe the beginning of Act 2, but for sure the beginning of throughout Act 1 will be you run around, you permafrost everything, boom, 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 permafrost, and as soon as they get frozen, you switch to fragmentation rounds, and then you explode the frozen. So that's like kind of the main combo that you do first and foremost. And then after you do permafrost and fragmentation rounds, you pick up flash grenade, and then you can also pick up explosive grenade if you like. This doesn't really do that much damage early on, but once you get flash grenade, the game starts. You pop off like crazy with flash grenade. Flash grenade is like super OP early on. I still use it in my build right now. It's like super good to stun bosses. It's super good to get out of like specific situations. You can flash them, you can stun them, and you can dodge roll out of things. So once you pick this up, definitely like focus your attention on flash grenade. Like put magnitude on it, put integrity on it, and things of that nature, so you can have more of a big AoE explosion. It's like super OP. And then once you kind of get gas grenade, you can kind of drop the permafrost and fragmentation round. It's a little annoying when you're in this like middle ground phase where you're trying to go into full grenade versus permafrost. So the combination for this would be you gas grenade, and then you use your explosive grenade to explode your gas grenades. That's how the combo works, and during like the beginning of Act 2, end of Act 1 situation. And then the build really shines when you have explosive shot. Yeah, that's when the combo is like really GG, and then you can drop your permafrost and your fragmentation rounds after that. I don't even use them. I just have basic bolt and explosive shot on my bar now. So pretty much you run around, you gas grenade, boom, 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 and then when there's gas on the floor, you explode it on the ground. Here, I'll give you a little showcase of what I'm talking about. Let me go back to Act 1 or something. I can show you a little bit. Let's just go here real quick, Act 2. So the combo early on would be just like gas grenade. And then once you have gas on the floor, you just boom and explodes everything. So that's kind of a combo. And then if monsters get close to you, you just flashbang them and it pushes them back, right? So yeah, that's the beginning. That's the beginning combo, to be honest. And then the easiest way to do the combination. And then once you do that, that's pretty much like kind of the standard until you get oil grenade. And once you get oil grenade, then you mix and match a little bit in oil grenade. Oil grenade pretty much slows them down and it spreads oil on the floor and it ignites them all around. So you put oil grenade, gas grenade, and then you just explode everything, and everything is just like a chain reaction. But that doesn't happen until like later in maybe Act 3, Act 2, the end of Act 2, beginning of Act 3. This is when you get oil grenade. This is like really good. So you oil grenade them, gas grenade them, and then you just use your explosive shot and boom, boom. And then I have an artillery ballista setup with pinpoints. This is just good to, like, if you're fighting a rare, you can lock them down in one situation. Like the artillery ballista flies up and lands down and locks them down to one location, and then you can just spam gas grenades, oil grenades, and flashbangs and just blow them up. And then my crossbow shot, I have Pierce, Mana Leech. Sometimes in a boss fight, when you're running out of mana pots, you just literally switch to auto attack. Auto attack's OP as hell. New POE2, everyone's auto attack's insane. Look at the damage, like 1,800 damage for an auto attack is wild. And then I just put brutality once I get a jeweler spot. So first I would go Pierce, Mana Leech, and then brutality because it's a fizz tag. So more damage is more Mana Leech, right? So it's like 5% of fizz damage on your quick basic attack. My explosive shot, I would first run scatter shot on your flashbang grenade. Once you have explosive shot, I would take scatter shot and put it onto your explosive shot. So in the beginning, I would probably run all the stuff for stun buildup for flash grenade plus scatter shot, and then once you have explosive shot, I'll put scatter shot, fire infusion, and ammo conservation. So the order of operations would be scatter shot, ammo conservation, and then fire infusion. Like I said before, I had the artillery ballista with this pin. It's okay, you don't need to use this. This is just something that I'm using until I can get like cluster grenade later in the game. I think cluster grenades are going to be hella crazy coming up. This thing looks absolutely insanity. It looks crazy as hell. So I might just drop my artillery just to run this. And yeah, so there's that. And then gas grenade, I have AoE. I just added this persistence. You can also run the armor break. Here it is, Demolisher. I was running this for a little while until I decided to switch up the build. And then you definitely need corrosion. This is like the first thing you really need, because if you don't have this, you can't armor break anything. So armor break's pretty good. So corrosion, magnify, and then I have persistent effects. It's good on bosses. I throw a bunch of gas grenades, especially when they're in an arena, and the whole thing is full of gas grenades. So I could just literally one tap my explosive shot and do giga damage, right? Oil grenade, I have the debuffs inflict 50% slower, and then I have fast forward, less skill effect duration, so I can cast my more oil grenades, and I can cast more ignites, and then when I ignite it spreads the ignite all over the place. So, it grants oil slow. Once the oil ground, it applies fire exposure. Yeah. And then I have Strip Away, which also just increases the exposure of oil grenade by 30%, right? And then later in Act 3, I was running emergency rounds. It's pretty cool for like a giga, like if you have a combo set up and you want to do giga damage. I put Premeditation and Ingenuity. Ingenuity also is good early on too, if you can get it. If you can get it early on for your first plus your support number 2, you can put it on flash grenade, and that just helps your flash grenade like just come back quicker. And then for the auras, I first started out with Wind Dancer, and then after Wind Dancer, I got Herald of Ash, and after Herald of Ash, I got this one called Shard Scavenger. It's okay. I don't think it really does much, but I had extra spirit to spend, so yeah. Now, all right. Now I'll go over a little bit about the skill tree, how I pathed, and then we could talk a little bit about the trials. Like I said, I got Tailwind first. I think Tailwind's super good for movement speed, and movement speed in general in this game is really good. And then I can go over a little bit about like gear progression, what to look for, and things of that nature. So, um, yeah, pretty much straightforward. It's kind of like a traditional Deadeye tree. Just get a bunch of projectile damage stuff, accuracy stuff. I'm going to go for uh, obviously endless mutations, but I'm going to go for point blank. I think point blank's going to be really good with grenades because like grenades are kind of like up close. You're not really that far. So I'm going to go for my other two ascendancies. I'm going to go point blank and then obviously endless mutations. But like I said, your first ascendancy, you're going to get tailwind. Tailwind's crazy with the grenades because like every time you use a move, it gives you tailwind, right? And like you lose tailwind when you're hit, but you have so much shit going on, so much grenades like being pulsed and like things happening that you're like you have 10 tailwind stacks pretty easy. I thought it was gonna be like really bad once you got hit and you lose all your tailwind stacks, but that's not the case. And then this PDR is actually this DR is actually kind of sick for tailwind, so I got that next. Yeah, so pretty much straightforward. Projectile damage at close range. So pretty much I pathed this way. I went down this here. I got these 2 points. Then I went down this way. And then I got all this cluster. This cluster's later. I'm trying to build a little bit more defenses now. So I got this cluster later. So you just go down this way. You pick this up. You go down here. And you try to bum rush these 2 nodes pretty quickly. Cluster bomb and grenader. And once you have this, then you go over here to volatile grenades. And then you start filling out like these side nodes. This little node here. And like I said, right now I'm working on some defenses, so I'm trying to get some more evasion and stuff. And then for progression of the build, I'm going to go down to repeating explosives probably later in the axe and like in cruel. And then I'm going to get some of these cooldown CDR stuff, increase more armor break stuff is pretty good too. And then I'm going to go to get some more movement speed and some more like I'm going to get point blank. I'm going to double down on the point blank stuff. So I'm going to this one right here, stand and deliver. I'm going to double down, and then I'm going to get some like flat elemental damage stuff and pen stuff. And yeah, so for gear progression, I would recommend to try to always go to a vendor and try to upgrade your crossbow as much as possible. Crossbows are your main source of damage. Like if you don't have a good crossbow, you're kind of teetering off. Try to look for things like extra projectile, +1 or plus XY, like +1, +2, +3, +4 to all projectile gems. Like my amulet, for example, has +1 to all projectile gems. It's kind of, this amulet's kind of shit, but it's been like, you know, I haven't really been upgrading my gear. I just been upgrading my crossbow as much as possible. Try to see if you can get a crossbow that has a rune socket so you can add runes. Runes are really powerful in this game. They're just like literally free stats. So look for that. I think this crossbow, let's see, it's level 33. Yeah, so this is definitely due for an upgrade. I'm gonna try to vendor something in New Cruel and see you know what I can get, right? I think gambling's kind of a waste. I wouldn't waste your gold gambling, to be honest. I would just try to find a vendor. Some vendors have some crazy dude, they have crazy stats. Like for example, there's some vendors out in like the main quest area. Like, let me see, in Act 3. Let's see if I can show you guys. Like these people here, these troubled camps and things like that, they get some crazy items. Look, I found this item here. Look at this, +2 all spell skills, increased cast speed and maximum energy. This is on an amulet from a vendor. That's actually kind of insane. So I have it listed for 6 divines. I don't think anyone's gonna buy it, but I'm holding on to it just you know, just in case. So yeah, let me go show you what the vendors can do. Even if your crossbow or your gear, that's a good tip to give you guys. Even if your crossbow or gear doesn't have or isn't a rare, some of the blue items are pretty good to just like off the rip use. And I would definitely recommend trying to buy items from vendors and trying to constantly look for upgrades. I think it's well worthwhile. Let's see. Like, no, that's pretty bad. Bolt speed's that's pretty bad. And sometimes the vendors also sell yellow items, so just keep in mind that. Um, for example, I was using these boots for 10% movement speed for a very long time. I had just 10% movement speed fire res, and that carried me throughout a lot of the beginning, like Act 1, Act 2. I still had a lot of blues in Act 2, so don't be afraid of getting blues and rares. Yeah, I mean that's a little bit about the build. Like I said, I'll give you guys a little update once I get through Cruel and get to the maps. But overall, at first I did not like the game. I played a monk and I felt like melee was really hard to get into, so I re-rolled Deadeye. And overall, I think the game is in a good state. Good state. I really wish they would increase the loot drop and the number of stuff that you get on the floor, because sometimes you kill a boss or like a crazy giga rare or a side boss, and you literally get nothing but white items, which is kind of crazy. I wish they would just drop more currency to craft your own stuff, maybe drop more rares or things of that nature. But overall, I think it's a different gameplay style than POE1. So if you're coming into this thinking that it's going to be just like POE1, better graphics, that's not the case. It's really slow, methodical, really thought out, very combo based. You have to like make sure you combo a lot of things. And I think also another good tip for new players that's starting out is to utilize all of the skill. Don't be afraid to use your skill gems. I would save some support skill gems if you find them on the ground. Like, I would definitely save some support. Like, I ran out of support uncut skill gems, but like, don't be like, I have some extra skill gems I'm not even using. So don't be afraid to use your skill gems. Try to find and read combos that you think that will work. Like, if you wanted to go electric grenades, or you would probably get this galvanic shards plus volcanic burst for this thing. Like, just combo what you want to do. And it's pretty straightforward. Some of the, like, a lot of the skills give you recommended skill gems to use, so keep that in mind if you're a newer player. But yeah, make sure you put just use all the things as much as possible, because power creep is kind of hard from Act 1 even through Act 2. Middle of Act 2, after, like, towards the end of Act 2, you start feeling good and feeling confident in the game. So like right now, I'm loving the game. At first I was giving it a solid like 7 out of 10, but now I think it's a solid 8, 9 out of 10. I think it's not a 10 out of 10 just yet because the loot is kind of crazy. You don't get anything, like I said previously, like earlier. So, but yeah, my plans for moving forward is to probably go into cluster grenades, figure out more combos, like and more things to do. Like I said, path through the passive tree to get some movement speed, get some more point blank stuff, more flat elemental stuff. I'm probably gonna pick up one of these nodes, like more pen stuff over here. So go travel this way, get the pen here, get more CDR. CDR is pretty important for this build because it gives you more refreshes of your your grenades and things of that nature. So that's kind of the the build in a nutshell. I'm gonna probably start building more defenses, also moving forward, like getting some more evasion and things, because this is a slow, methodical game and things are gonna hit you, and you have to use your dodge roll in the proper way. So yeah, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Just make sure you subscribe and like the video, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Appreciate you.